Hi guys, it's Ben here. Welcome back to another Scared Equine video blog. In today's video blog, I wanted to talk about how we get a sense of love and belonging in our relationships and with our family and with our partners and the people in our life. And the reason why this is so interesting for me at the moment is because I've been writing workshop material, and one of the things that I've been writing about in my workshop material is really related to this balance in life between authenticity and conformity. So being authentic and doing what's right for you on an emotional level, on a mental level, on a physical level, and versus conformity, doing what everybody else wants you to do, what everyone else expects you to do, what everybody else believes that you should be. And in life we have this constant tug of war between trying to be authentic but also on a deeper level feeling like sometimes we have to conform to different people's beliefs and standards and expectations that they have of us in order to get that sense of validation, that sense of approval, that sense of love and belonging from those relationships. And this is exactly what triggered me to have this really powerful insight the other day. I was looking through Abraham Maslow's work on the human hierarchy of needs, and Abraham Maslow talks about this hierarchy of needs, and at the top we have the highest spiritual needs, self-actualization, spiritual awakening, and in the middle he talks about psychological and emotional needs like self-esteem and a sense of love and belonging. And these are fundamental needs. And at the bottom we have our physiological needs, like being safe and having a sense of sustenance, like food, safety, well-being, roof over our head, all those types of things. And what I found was really fascinating about his observation of human needs, and as it relates to me, my work that I'm doing on authenticity versus conformity as part of my workshop material, is that when somebody can get that need met of a sense of love and belonging, and when they meet it in a certain way by behaving a certain way for somebody in their family, whether it be their parents or their partner, then that becomes something that we almost habitually get in the habit of doing without any real conscious recognition of what is going on. Now, if we're in a relationship and we're compromising our own authenticity and we're trying to be something that we're not to fit someone else's mold of who we should be so that we get that sense of love and belonging from that person, then we are compromising our authenticity, and that in itself is something that leads to a lot of unhappiness, a lot of can lead to depression, it can lead to a lot of toxic emotions, resentment, and all sorts of things coming up in the relationship, because fundamentally we are not in harmony with our own inner being, our own authenticity, and how we truly feel and think deep down. Now again, the reason why this can be so confusing and so difficult for people is because, like I said, we all have these hierarchy of human needs that we want to meet. And in Abraham's work, what was fascinating is he said that the sense of love and belonging can actually override our physiological need for feeling safe and physical safety. And he said in abusive relationships where people will go back to the person that's abusing them because they know that they can get a sense of love and belonging from that person. If that's where they feel it's comfortable, and they'll continually keep going back. And it's like, it doesn't really make sense logically if we think about it, but the reason for it is if they've had that consistent pattern of getting a sense of love and belonging from that person by being a certain way around them, then they are going to feel like that is, if they don't have that, that's missing. So that can override even that strong need for self-preservation, which means they'll go back into that relationship, they'll get abused, maybe even have their life threatened, but they'll still feel as though they've got to keep coming back. And this is a cycle that you see in abusive relationships, that it can take quite a lot of courage for the person being abused to leave that person in the relationship. And again, this is relating back to that need of strong, intense human need of a sense of love and belonging. Now, as far as authenticity versus conformity goes, where this fits into the equation is, and when we're children and we rely on our parents for all of these needs, for safety and the physiological needs, and for the psychological needs, for a sense of love and belonging, and for self-esteem, and even for the spiritual needs of self-actualization, when we rely on our parents for all of those things as children, we can often feel like we have to be a certain way, do a certain thing, to get that from our parents. And this can create this unconscious pattern that is deep-seated emotionally that we will fall back into as we reach our later adult or early adult life, and we start going into different relationships and we leave home. We sink back into these comfortable patterns. Even though it's a different relationship, the same pattern comes up. We end up we know that we can get love and belonging through being a certain way in a relationship. And while that way may not be authentic to us, it may be us conforming and changing, because we feel that if we are authentic, we're going to threaten that sense of our basic needs of survival, safety, of that strong sense of love and belonging, and all of the needs above that. And so that's so hardwired into us that we can just, often spend a big part of our life negating our own authenticity, our own inner guidance, our own sense of emotional well-being, just so that we can consistently get a sense of certainty around love and belonging from a person. We'd rather have what's safe and consistent than what's real and authentic and requires an emotional risk. So I hope that gives you some insights into relationship, and I hope it makes sense. Please, like and share, because I want to hear your opinion. And I want to, start a discussion about this topic. It's such an interesting thing for me, and I think for a lot of the people I work with, this is something that comes up so often. So please, like and share your comments below, and I will see you in the next video.